Yes.
Hey Pam, how have you been? How have things been going since we last talked?
Really good. Thanks, Colin. Nice to hear from you again. We've been busy, but it's been going really well.
That's good. I do appreciate you taking the time to meet with me again today. So, last time we talked, you gave me a better idea of some of those security issues that come up when you're managing your rental properties.
Mhm.
We talked about keeping your vacant properties secure and then keeping track of who's going in and out of those properties whenever you are remote. And being able to check in from your phone instead of having to send someone down to the properties. Is that correct?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
So I took what you told me and put together a smaller security package that I think would work for Pulse and could help you out with those things as well. So since we last talked, were there any other security issues or access issues that have come up?
No, luckily nothing major, but just keeping track of access is always something that I have to deal with. So,
Okay, so like when maintenance workers or contractors or new tenants need to get into the property, how are you handling that now?
usually with keys, lock boxes, or sometimes actually physically meeting up with people.
Okay. So does that ever become a problem if someone loses a key or doesn't return one, or like a
Mhm.
maintenance worker needs to get into the site after hours?
Right. It definitely has been a problem and continues to be a problem.
If we were able to give someone temporary access to get into the properties and you can do that from your phone, would that make things easier for you?
Yes, it sure sounds like it would.
Okay, so that's one of the main reasons I think our system would work perfectly and be a great fit for Pulse with what you guys are doing. So, one of the main things we mentioned before was keeping vacant properties secure. So, for that, I'd recommend some outdoor cameras. We could do a doorbell camera as well, some door and window sensors, and a app that you can monitor the properties remotely. So instead of having to physically send someone down to a property, you can just hop
Mm,
on your phone or get on your computer and check it out. Um,
okay.
so you would have another way of seeing what's going on without having to send a maintenance worker down there. And
Okay.
then another issue we talked about was access. So with the smart locks, you would be able to give people temporary access and so you could send someone down, get some work done, and then you can actually remove that access at a later point as well. So you don't have to worry about copying keys as often or getting keys back. So that can
Mm,
make it easier for you to keep track of who is able to enter the property and at what times or dates.
okay.
So I did put together a quick little proposal for you. I sent that over email, so hopefully you got that. But this is
Yeah.
just a walkthrough of what we're offering Pulse, and it's geared for Pulse's properties as well. So, what we
Okay.
could offer security wise, and then it does have a pricing sheet, and then why it is a great fit for your company. Um, so, for the trial, I would recommend starting with three properties. So, each property would have an outdoor camera, video doorbell, a smart lock, and then the door and window sensors. And you could access all of that remotely on your phone. So, you can monitor that from home.
Okay. Okay.
And the main things I wanted to focus on were the issues you brought up last time. So, protecting the vacant properties, controlling access, and then making it easier to monitor the properties remotely. And based on what we talked about, do you think something like this could help you?
Yes, I could definitely see it as a huge help to us.
Okay. Is there anything about it that concerns you?
Well, my biggest concern would be the price and the cost. It seems like if we started putting these systems into all our properties, it could really get expensive pretty quickly.
Yeah, I understand that, especially with how many properties you guys manage. I can see why you wouldn't want to make a huge investment without knowing how it actually works and if it's a good fit for Pulse. Um, so is your main concern more about committing to a large number of properties right away, or rather the system itself?
Um, I think really it would be committing to the large number of properties.
Okay.
I think the system sounds pretty good, and seems to fit our needs, but the cost and the large number would be concerning to me.
hmm That's actually why I'm recommending we only start with the three properties instead of trying to fit it all into like everything all at once. So the equipment and installation for three properties would be $750 per property, so around $22.50 up front. And then there is also a maintenance fee that is $40 per month per property, so 120. And then on the sheet I gave you emailed over, it does give you a total cost as well. So for a 90-day trial, it would be around $2,600. So that gives you three
Mhm.
months to actually see how useful it is before
Mhm.
deciding whether you want to expand it to all of your properties or more.
Okay.
So, would starting with only three properties make you more comfortable with the cost?
Yes, I think that would help a lot and just makes more sense to me to do
Mm-hmm.
it that way. Kind of start slow.
Mm-hmm. Do you have another concern?
My other concern would be that some of our properties just may not need as much security as you all, can offer.
Mm-hmm.
So there may be some areas where we don't, really need as much.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So I wouldn't recommend putting equipment into a property just for the sake of doing it. Are you thinking some properties might only need certain parts of the system instead of the full setup?
Exactly. That's what I was thinking.
We can definitely do that. So, for example, a vacant property might benefit from cameras, sensors, and the monitoring, while another property might just need a smart lock. So, we could adjust the equipment based on what each property actually needs instead of just forcing the exact same setup on all of the properties throughout. So, would having that flexibility take care of some of that concern for you?
Yes, definitely. It really would.
Okay. So besides the cost of making sure we only use the right equipment for the right property, is there anything else that would keep you from moving forward with this trial?
No, I don't think so. I think those were my main concerns that you
Okay.
addressed.
Okay. So based on everything we talked about, I think the starting with three properties would be the best best start for the 90 days. Keeps the initial commitment pretty small, gives your team a chance to actually monitor all of this and figure it out because it's all going to be new. You guys can all test it out. If we can agree on which three properties you want to start with, we could you'd be more comfortable moving forward with the trial.
Yes, I think so. I think we could, determine which three we'd want to start with, and I'd be good with that.
Perfect. Then our next step would just be choosing the three properties and deciding exactly what equipment you would want at each of those sites and which ones make the most sense for each property.
Okay.
So I appreciate you meeting with me again, Pam.
You're very welcome. I appreciate the information and your time. So thank you very much.
Absolutely. Well, I'll get everything together here and then I will send out a an email to you later on and we can go from there.
All right. Sounds great. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Pam.